Hi guys, welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam, we're live. This is the FC Basel against Manchester United preview. Game week 5 in the Champions League for the Reds. So far, it's 4 out of 4 for Manchester United. 12 points, we're 6 points clear in top spot, and 1 point will seal the deal against Basel and seal top spot for Manchester United. So it's a big day for Manchester United in Switzerland tomorrow, and Jose Mourinho has just had his press conference as well. So we'll speak about what Jose Mourinho has been discussing in his press conference as well in this preview. Great timing for the preview. Hope you guys are doing well, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this back later on. Thank you for tuning in to AdamMcKola TV. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well, getting your comments in, and of course sharing the videos to your friends. I really do appreciate you guys that already do that. But as I was saying, we go to FC Basel needing just 1 point. 1 point will do it. And the last time we went to FC Basel, I think it was in 2011. 2011, we needed 1 point to get through in the group, and we lost. And we went out of the Champions League. Now obviously, no chance of us going out of the Champions League in the group stages this season, so that's not going to happen. But still, Basel will feel quietly confident that they can get a result. They've got the history of doing it at their ground. Their fans will be up for it. The pitch isn't in the best of conditions. Jose Mourinho has been speaking about that as well. And of course, you never know what could happen. They're sitting second in the group, so if they can get 3 points, they pretty much seal their qualification as well. Although third place, who's third place? CSK and Moscow have 6 points, so it depends what happens in their group game as well. But Basel are still in with a chance of qualifying, so they will be up for this with 2 games to go. Big game for United. I expect there to be a few changes, and we'll discuss the team news that Jose Mourinho has been giving us as well in his press conference. First things first though, I am going to dive into the comments and see what you guys are saying. So Alex Ferguson's in the comments, obviously, Sir Alex. How you doing, Arik? Manny Plays is back. Thomas Folsey says Vidic done his knee against Basel away. I remember that as well, and he was out for a while. It was a big injury for us. 7:45 p.m. UK time is the time for kickoff. Governor Bandicoot, thank you for joining us. Amarpreet, thank you for getting involved. And he says, is this game worth risking Paul Pogba for? Probably not, especially with the way the pitch is, the injury that he has. Although Jose Mourinho did say that the state of the pitch wouldn't affect his team selection, although I wouldn't be surprised if that was a little bit of kidology. He has already said that Zlatan Ibrahimovic will not start, could come in for the last 20-25 minutes, but he's not going to start. He said he's not ready to start any games yet, and it was an emphatic no, he'll be on the bench. So Zlatan Ibrahimovic will be on the bench for this game. He's not going to start. He's not going to be risked from the start in this game. I don't mind that at all. But I do expect us to see a few changes. Now, the beauty of us having 4 wins out of 4 means that going into these last 2 games, with us needing 1 point out of 6, we can rest a few players. We don't have to, go full-blooded into all of these games. Yes, we do have to take it seriously. Yes, we want to get qualified and we want to get the minimum of a point to do that. But look, I want to make it 5 out of 5. Can we get 6 wins out of 6? I would love to do that. And if we went into the last game at home with 5 out of 5, it'd give us a great chance to do that. So I want United to go into this game and take it very, very seriously. But the beauty of our squad is we've got a lot of strength in depth. So because of that strength in depth, we are able to maybe rest 4, 5, 6 players and still have a very, very strong team. That's the beauty of our strength in depth. So Jose said Zlatan will start on the bench. He didn't mention anything about Shaw, about Pogba, about Fellaini, whether they'd start or not. But as I said, he said the pitch wouldn't come into his mind when selecting players. I would love to see Luke Shaw get a start, although I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. I don't think he actually will start. Mkhitaryan, who he mentioned as well, he was asked about Mkhitaryan's form. Now, there was a picture of Mkhitaryan sat on a bench in training. Absolute ridiculous reaction to that. He was chilling in a bench. Probably cold out there. What's wrong with you guys? He's probably waiting for someone to get the footballs out. He's probably waiting for the rest of the lads to get out there. We don't know what's going on yet. People are making it seem like Mkhitaryan's unhappy at Manchester United. Now, of course, he's going to be unhappy to have not been in the team against Newcastle. But Jose Mourinho said, why aren't you asking me about Chris Smalling? Why aren't you asking me about Anthony Martial? Why is it always you're asking me questions about players that are out of form? I didn't pick Mkhitaryan because I picked Rashford and Martial. I had other options. Last week the question was, why isn't Rashford and Martial starting together? So I can see where Jose Mourinho is coming from. And with us having a big squad, when players are out of form, we are able to then take them out. When Mkhitaryan was going through a rough patch, a couple of weeks ago it started. And we could see that. But we didn't have the options to really change it up. Now we do have the options. It's great to be able to change it up. Competition for place is exactly what we need. Now, in terms of Mkhitaryan's mental well-being, in terms of his happiness at Manchester United, at the UNICEF dinner last week, he was mingling with everybody. He was doing interviews. He was doing this. He was doing that. It was a big part of the UNICEF day. Now, I know that's a charity day, so he's most likely going to be involved in all that. But it didn't strike me as a player that's not happy at the club. So I would be a little bit frustrated if Mkhitaryan had a negative reaction to not being in the squad against Newcastle. You want to see a reaction from your players. You want your players to make the manager think, I'm not going to leave him out again. Look what he did. Look how good he is on the training pitch. Look how good he is when he comes off the bench or when he starts a game. So I'd like to see Mkhitaryan brought back in against Basel. Whether it's starting or off the bench, I don't know. But you don't want to see your players like shunned. You don't want to see them completely shunned just because they're out of form. That's not fair. But at the same time, you need that competition. You need that rotation. It's healthy for the whole squad. We've got over 170 people tuning in at the moment. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're banging that like button. Anise says Mickey will find his form. We need to sell Mickey in January, says Chicken Lover, which is a bit of an overreaction, I think. Manny Plays says Mickey's quality. Mickey will find his form, says Chris Andrews. 2-1 United tomorrow is Rifat's prediction. I think we're going to win 2-0. Lukaku and Martial to score, says Arik. Fuck Man City and Liverpool, says Rafat as well. Nice one. Dion says get at least a draw there. We can play a few youths in the last game against CSKA, says Dion. And that's a big one as well for us, because if we are able to rest players in that game, it's in between. I think it's just before the Arsenal game. So if we can go into that game against Arsenal with a lot of the players rested, that'll be a huge boost for Manchester United. So I would be happy to see that as well. Lukaku went through a drought and responded, didn't he? Says Jasmine Lisdo. Yes, he did. How you doing, James Harrison? Thank you for getting involved. Jasmine though does question Mickey's mentality, whether he can succeed at Manchester United. Twanzebe, question mark, says DP Bangera. Be great to see Twanzebe involved. Now, one thing that really did frustrate me that came out of the press conference was the fact that Phil Jones is not only out of the Basel game, he's out of the Brighton game at the weekend too. Now, this is after Phil Jones played, I think he played in our first 10 league games of the season. Now, he did come off in one of those with an injury, but he played the next one. And he played the first 10 league games for Manchester United. He was playing very well for Manchester United. He goes away with England on international duty for friendlies against Germany and Brazil. Now, he takes an injection for the game against Brazil. In the warm-up, he tells the England medical team, the England manager, I don't feel right. So they give him a further 5 injections. So he's had 6 pain-killing injections or whatever they are on an injury for a friendly against Brazil. Now look, to play against Brazil for England at Wembley, fair enough, it's a big deal. Or even if it was a qualifier and it meant something. But a friendly, mid-season, you're taking 6 injections. You already know that you have injury problems. And you're doing this. Now, first of all, the medical staff are absolute bellends for even suggesting it. But second of all, can you really place the blame at the medical staff when Phil Jones is a fully grown man? He's a fully grown adult. He knows his body. He knows his injury record. He knows what's at stake in terms of at Manchester United. He's finally been playing for us. And he goes and does that. I can't get my head around it. I really genuinely can't. Now maybe it's because I am always going to be club before country. United ahead of England. I'm always going to be that way. But Phil Jones taking those injections before a friendly doesn't make sense to me. It's idiotic. Absolutely idiotic. and it's not going to help him at all. Suvajit, thank you for your comment. And I think it will piss off Jose Mourinho a little bit as well. Like, mate, you've been in the team, you've been playing well, you've got injury issues, we've stuck by you, you're still at this club, and you go and do that. Really? January is around the corner. You missed now Newcastle game, Basel game, Brighton game. This is ahead of a big game against Arsenal. And Phil Jones is playing around like an idiot. It's really annoying. And then he went down in the game as well. Like, what the fuck, man? I don't mind if you have those 6 injections, you get through the game, and then you come back and you play Newcastle, you play Basel, you play Brighton. Because it makes sense. But bloody hell, man. Do yourself a favour. Know when you, have a little word with yourself. Is this the right thing to do? You know, a start against Brazil, yes, it's great, but it's a friendly. An injury could affect my position in my club team, my position in the 11. If I'm out of my club team, I'm not playing. Are England going to pick you for the World Cup? No, they're not. No, they're not going to pick you for the World Cup if you're not playing for United. So it's a big, stupid decision. When is Bailly coming back, says Ines. Jose Mourinho has said he'll be back for the Brighton game. He's not with the squad for the game against Basel. Chris Smalling has been good recently, says Sanjar. He has been good recently. Amir says we should get rid of Phil Jones. See, it wouldn't surprise me if something like this pushed Jose over the edge with him and thought, fuck this, I'm having enough with it. But I actually like Phil Jones as a player. And he's shown his worth in this season. It's just really frustrating that he'd make a decision like that. Really, really fucking frustrating. Like, why would you do that to yourself? It makes no sense. Hyder says, Adam, can we see Gomez tomorrow? Gomez isn't travelling with the squad. So he's not going to be there tomorrow. Mickey is great. We need to keep him, says Mohammed. James says Smalling is a beast. Friendlies are pointless, says Calvin. I don't know. I think friendlies can be useful. But the mid-season friendlies are really annoying. I think there should be like a window for friendlies as well. Maybe once the transfer window closes, no more international friendlies. Some shit like that. Jones injured faced Germany. Pissed me off. I'm fancy Premier League because I have him, says Afiq. Martial is coming along. I'm so glad we kept Martial, says Jasmine. Me too. Me too. I am really happy we kept Anthony Martial. And he's really coming good this year. Well, I say coming good. If Jose Mourinho played him regularly last season and gave him the confidence that he has this season, I think we would have saw the same results because I've never doubted Martial's talent. It's getting him on the pitch, getting him confident, getting him playing football with a smile on his face. And he's doing that. And he's tearing it up. And with Zlatan Ibrahimovic being back now, it means we can unleash Martial, Rashford. But it was interesting what Jose Mourinho said, that when we play with Martial and Rashford, it brings us some things in a tactical sense, but it takes some things away in a tactical sense. They both like to occupy down that left side. Defensively, we do lose a little bit of something. And you can see in big games, like against Arsenal away, we're probably not going to play Martial, Rashford and Lukaku unless if injuries dictate we have to. So I can see where it will be useful in the games at home. Maybe getting them doubling up on a fucking fullback and terrorising him. Yes, D, how you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well. What's my score predictions? I'll give you my score predictions towards the end of the show. We've got a few more new subscribers in the last couple of minutes as well. So thank you to the new subscribers. And of course, thank you to you regulars as well. If you haven't subscribed to AdamMcKola TV, then make sure you're hitting that subscribe button right about now. What I've got coming up this week for you guys is going to be the United for UNICEF dinner vlog. So I'll have that vlog up for you this week. I still need to edit it, but I will get it up for you this week. Tomorrow, we'll have reaction to the FC Basel game. I'm not going to be at the game, so I won't have a vlog for that match. Maybe I'll replace the vlog for Basel with the United for UNICEF vlog on Thursday. So that's what's happening Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, return of FIFA Fridays. I'll squeeze in another FIFA Friday episode. Well, a FIFA episode for you before then as well. Saturday, we've then, of course, got the Brighton reaction. And before then, we'll have the Brighton preview, maybe Thursday evening. So we've got an action-packed week coming up on AdamMcKola TV. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, like, commenting and sharing. And comment on the My Dream Team video who you want in next on my dream team and on McKola Meets as well, and I'll get that sorted. Asha Ansa, thank you very much for getting involved. Amir says add Varane and Dybala to the team or Griezmann and we'll be the champions of Europe. Aditya says has Rojo travelled? Marcos Rojo has travelled. Nice to see you on Saturday too, Alex. We need Pogba, says DJ Walker. Hi there, how you doing? Baba Rankin thinks it's going to be 4-0 to United. Am I alone in being like, I really want a fucking win. I want to make it 6 out of 6. I really do. Like, I know it's really sad. And we could draw the next 2 games. It doesn't mean anything. And winning 6 out of 6 doesn't affect anything. But I just want to win 6 out of 6. Nice one, Stephen. Enjoy your teammate. And thank you for getting involved as well. Nahush says Joel Pereira should be given a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sergio Romero start and Joel Pereira on the bench. I would like to see Joel Pereira start in the next League Cup game. And of course, in the game against, McKola as well. CSKA Moscow at home. Rohan's loving the vlogs. Thank you very much, mate. Hello from Pakistan, says Uzair. Thank you for getting involved. We've got literally people from all over the globe that get involved on this channel, and I genuinely, absolutely love that. Let's win 6 out of 6, says Sam Homewood. Now, let me just say something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get Sam Homewood's subscription link in the description as soon as I finish the video. So if you're watching this back later, subscribe. And if you're watching this now, click on his name in the chat and subscribe to his channel. So Sam Homewood is making a new YouTube channel. Now don't get it twisted. He's not leaving us from Full-Time Devils. None of that stuff. He's not leaving us. I will make sure he never ever leaves us. But Sam Homewood is now making his own YouTube channel. I'm going to get on there. We've been talking about doing a little collaboration. So I'm definitely getting involved with that. And what I will say to you guys, the perfect advertisement. Do you remember those little gems on Full-Time Devils previews where I would say, Sam, what do you think? And Sam would go on for 2 minutes with words of wisdom. Expect loads of them on his channel. So make sure you subscribe to Sam's channel. Do that right now. Yes, Cam K, how you doing? Hi from Ireland, says Ryan. Hello from Warsaw, says Manny. Or the Tesso. What player should join Man United, says Asha. I would like Griezmann. I still want Griezmann. John thinks Ibra's going to score 2 and Rashford's going to score 2. Now, I will give you my predicted lineup for this game. And I will also let you guys know that Jose Mourinho has stated Zlatan Ibrahimovic will not start this match. He will be on the bench. He could get about 20 to 25 minutes in this game. Eric Bailly isn't with the squad for this game, but he will be back for Brighton. Phil Jones isn't going to be involved against Basel or Brighton. Bloody idiot. So that's annoying. Rojo's with the squad. Pogba, he hasn't mentioned whether he will start, so it remains to be seen on that one. In terms of Mkhitaryan, he kind of pushed off all the questions and dismissed them. So this is the team that I've opted to go with for this game. I've gone with Sergio Romero in goal, Darmian, Rojo, Smalling and Blind. Now I would love to see Luke Shaw start at left back, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I've gone with Blind, but you never know. We might get to see Luke Shaw at left back. I've gone with Darmian because I think Antonio Valencia deserves a well-earned rest. Herrera, Fellaini in the midfield too is what I'd go with. I'd go with a 4-2-3-1. Lingard, Mkhitaryan and Marcus Rashford. In behind, Romelu Lukaku. That's my team for this one. That gives you the option of bringing on Martial for Rashford, bringing on Mata for Mickey or Lingard, bringing on Zlatan for Lukaku, or even Zlatan for Mickey, or even Zlatan for Lingard as well. It gives you the options of changing things up. You can bring Scott McTominay in for Fellaini if he needs to come off after 60 minutes, because obviously he's just come back in, and it allows us not to rush Paul Pogba into starting 2 games in a couple of days as well, and let him start the next game against Brighton. So that's the team that I would like to see Manchester United go with, this team right here. Now let me know what you guys are thinking. Amir says Lindelof in, Rojo won't start. Now that may be the case. Ronak wants to see Shaw for Blind. Twanzebe is a waste of time. He can't tackle. Shut up, Uncle Elbows. Twanzebe is amazing I absolutely love Tanzania. I'd love to see him involved in this game. But I've got a feeling with Jose Mourinho that he's going to go for the more full strength side here. He doesn't want to lose these games. And then in the home game against CSKA, we'll probably see Twanzebe start. We'll probably see Pereira get given some minutes, etc. So that's what I think he'll look to do, Jose Mourinho, in terms of giving youngsters an opportunity. And that's when I think Mkhitaryan will start as well. Thank you. We've got 100 likes now and we've got over 230 people watching. I really do appreciate every single last one of you, even the one that unliked the video as well. So guys, get hitting that like button. What's going on, Mark? Hope you're doing well. Luke Shaw will start. Antoine Zabi says Junior Full-Time Devils. You might need to change that logo, you know, mate, because that is very, very confusing. And the name. Why Romero, says Mamad. Why not Romero? He deserves games. Young for Blind, but I definitely want to see Shaw given a chance as many plays. When is Carrick back? Hopefully soon. Adam, is there any chance we may see Mason Greenwood? I don't think so, John. He's not with the squad. Bring TFM back. He's not starting at Palace under Roy Hodgson, I'm guessing Neil wanted to say. But yes, I do agree as well. If he's not getting many more minutes between now and January, we should bring him back in. Kanishk, on the note of bringing loanees back in, says we should bring Andreas Pereira back to Man United as well. Jesse the Hitman is back in the comments. Thank you for getting involved, mate. Twanzebe Rojo would be my centre-back pairing, says Gov. Bandicoot Mickey on the wing, says James. Rest Smalling and Lukaku. The thing on that comment, James, about Mickey on the wing, I'd like to see Mickey and Lingard rotating. They could cause a lot of problems for Basel. And Lingard likes to drift and he likes to keep moving. Mkhitaryan likes to drift, likes to keep moving, and they can both drift in from the right, and they're both comfortable on the right. So I would like to see them switching it around. But I definitely agree with you there. Any idea when Carrick will be back? I miss his composure, says Gov Bandicoot. I'm not sure at all, mate. Jose hasn't mentioned that one. Aditya says do a collab with Arsenal Fan TV before the Arsenal game. Maybe, just maybe, that's something we'll do. Do I support Ireland in football, says Steph Meister Steph. I have to support Ireland because half of my family do. Do a collaboration with troops. Alright, mate, you've made that point already and I've read it out. Do you think we can still win the league, says Asha. Of course I do, mate. It's never over. It's fucking November. It's not over. What are you guys saying in terms of score predictions, 11 predictions, and all that stuff? Get your comments in. Keep them flowing. Remember, we're live. We're active. It's AdamMcKola TV, and I hope you guys are enjoying this preview show for the FC Basel against Manchester United game, where hopefully United will be making it 5 wins out of 5. 5 wins out of 5. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it, if we could do that? I would really love. I mean, I was pissed off that we conceded at home in the Premier League against New. I know we won 4-1 and all that, but I left there like, oh man, why did we have to concede? Because I loved seeing the fact that we hadn't conceded at home in the Premier League. But I want to really keep this 5. I want to get 6 out of 6. 3-0 United. Says John. Manny says 4-0. Iman, thank you. Mark says 4-1. Marks Harris says 2-0. Rashil says 2-1. 4-0 FC return, says Shay. 2-0 United, says Nahush. Michael says Mata instead of Mickey in this team. I want to see Mata given a rest, mate. I'm not dropping Mata, I'm resting Mata. A solid 0-3 win for United, says Mason. Adam Moonlight says United's reserve goalkeeper. Of course he would pick himself, says Gov Bandicoot. Demi Mitchell could start, says Ahmed. Denoman Lampos says 3-1 United. James Cahill, how you doing, mate? Chris Andrews says 1-0 United. Jess Hitman says 4-1. Jason says 4-1. Ahmed says 7-1. Amir says 1-1. Andrew Dean and Pranav says 3-0. Fox says 4-2. 2-1 United, says Ronak. 2-0, says Gerdeep. Is that G? Is that Gerdeep from school? G-Dep, what's going on, bro? I miss you. If that's you. If you're another Gerdeep, then just what's going on, innit? I hope you're good, but I don't miss you. Because I don't know you. Unless you're the one that went to school with me. Say went to school with me like I haven't seen him fucking more recently. Will be a 1-0 win for United, says John Cap. Ines says 2-0 United. And Jesse with the realistic 75-0 prediction. My prediction for this game is we beat them 3-0 at home, didn't we? I think Basel will score, unfortunately. I'm going to 3-1 United. 3-1 United. I think it'll be a difficult game though. And I think, it might be 1-1 at half time. Something like that. But I think we'll get over the line in the end. And I think we'll get the result and get the victory. I'm going for a 3-1 win to Manchester United. Yes, G, it is you. Who is your fave player in the United team at the moment? Anthony Martial? Maybe. When this kind of tells you who my favourite player is, yeah? This kind of tells you who my favourite player was. At the dinner last week, top of my list for a picture was Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba, and Zlatan. Zlatan wasn't there. So it was Anthony Martial and Paul Pogba. So that probably says a lot about who my favourite players are. But if I hadn't have already met Rashford, Rashford may have been on that list. Like Jess could have been on that list. Like Mata could have been on that list. Herrera. But I've already met them. So when I got there, I was like, I want a picture with Martial, 100%. And I got it. I missed out on one with Pogba. I was about to take one with Pogba. The woman went, oi, no selfies. Pogba was like, what? No selfies. Looked away. So it's just me and Mata in the picture. No Pogba. So that probably kind of tells you who my favourite player is. Martial. Griezmann looking like going to Barca. What's going on, says John Cap. I'm not too sure about that. Man like G, says Manny. We need Andreas Pereira. Rohan knew it. Adam's a huge Martial admirer. Didn't Mata get rested for the Chelsea game and then have the international break? He's only played one game in the last 20 days. But I want him to play Brighton and I want him to play Arsenal. And I want a fresh Mata. I got chubbed like a bitch. I've been chubbed so much this season, James. What the fuck's going on, man? I've got 2 tickets for away games. And I've applied for almost all of them. Apart from maybe 2 or 3 because I forget sometimes to apply. Who's been the best player so far this season according to me, says Aditya? Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba. Lukaku. One of them. The vlog for the United UNICEF is going up on Thursday. It's going to replace my matchday vlog after the Basel game. So it'll go up on Thursday and I will get that up. Cillian says, what's Martial's English like? I spoke to him for about 2 minutes and it was okay. But obviously he was pretty much just laughing at me and smiling and saying, yeah. And it wasn't like he was asking me loads of questions and stuff like that. We have Brighton on Saturday, then Watford on Tuesday. How could I forget about that Watford game? We got a lot of big Premier League games coming up, so Mata needs to be playing in those. So I wouldn't like him to play in the game against Basel, or maybe that's just me. Valencia, says Rohan. Martial, Amir. Jasmine says loads of question marks, but I don't know what they've asked. James says the keeper. Keviv says Matic. Why don't I rate Scott McTominay, says Nebelisa. Right. I don't not rate him. I think he's a decent player. And I think he's done well whenever he's been called upon in the first team. And I like to see young players doing well. What I said about Scott McTominay was, whenever I saw him in the 23s or whatever, the reserves, I never thought, ooh, he's going to kill it for the first team one day. I never ever thought that. And that's the only thing I've ever said about him. Like, I'm not going to come out and say, oh yeah, I always knew McTominay was going to make it for the first team. Because that isn't true. And I'm not the kind of guy to do that about every single young player. Do you know what I mean? Some people may do that. I don't do that. So, just being honest about him, when I saw him in the first team, I didn't think he'd make it in the... Sorry, when I saw him in the 23s, I didn't think he'd make it in the first team. That's not to say I dislike him. I don't have a problem with him. Jose not keen on Mata. I don't think that's right, mate. Jose's keen on Mata. He plays him an awful lot. If he wasn't keen, then it'd be strange that he plays him so much, wouldn't it? Or is that... Yeah? Just my opinion. I have been watching I'm a Celebrity. Only for Amir Khan, and that's it. To be honest. Fucking can't stand that Vardy's misses. What a bell end. Anyway, guys, this has been it. This has been the preview. The preview for Basel against Manchester United. What I want you guys to do right about now, get your comments in below with your predictions for your scores, your predicted 11s, all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed to AdamMcKola TV, then hit that subscribe button right about now. Thank you all for watching, whether you've watched live or you've watched this back later on. Thank you all for getting involved. You've been amazing, been absolutely amazing. So thank you for getting involved in AdamMcKola TV. Remember, my prediction for the game is Manchester United 3, FC Basel 1, United to make it 5 out of 5, and go into that game against CSKA Moscow, be able to rest players, but also with 6 out of 6 on our mind. Anyway, that's it for the preview. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm out of here.